Hello and welcome to this initial preview of our Field Service Accelerator. So what is Preact's Field Service Accelerator? Well, it's a combination of features and functions that we've put together, either based on sort of common things that we've done for customers over the years, based on things that our prospective customers have been asking for, and then also using the experience and expertise of our field service consultants, where we've tried to bridge some gaps in the platform. So we have things such as customer site instructions, which will add on to default functionality, the ability to create sales orders rather than invoices from work orders, the ability for your engineers to have skills and certs that expire, and the ability to change when a customer asset is generated by the system. So these are things that, if you're familiar with Field Service and Microsoft Field Service, that you will know will give you benefit from day one of your project and reducing implementation costs significantly. So we're just going to take a look now at the feature that we've labeled as creating a customer asset early. So this is in this scenario very much of an install. So your engineers are going out to install a piece of kit. Now, default field service functionality will create that customer asset for you at the customer site. This is something that you're going to maintain and service over years, but that will only happen after the work order has been completed. Now, we've had numerous customers say this is too late for us in our process. We need our engineer to be able to see the customer asset through his mobile app when he attends site. So what we've done on the product is just underneath the default functionality, we've added a new option set here. And this will let you either create an asset whenever a work order product is added to a work order, or whenever that work order product is marked as used by the engineer out in the field. So what that translates to is here we have a product that we've already added to a work order. We've added one of those, and that is automatically in the background created our asset. So now when we come to schedule this work order, it will mean the engineer is able to interact with the asset when he's on site. So we're now going to look at our skills expiry capability. So in field service on an engineer or technician, you can specify any skills or characteristics these people may have. What we're offering over and above the default is the ability for those skills or certs to expire. And the idea is to help here when it comes to automated scheduling. When you're looking for jobs where you need certain skills, however, in this example, if my security clearance had expired, I should not then be visible or be available to do a job. So if we come onto the schedule board here, we see our list of resources in the middle. And if we specify we only need to see engineers who have security clearance, once we click apply and search, we're now left with just the engineers who have it. So that's where our automation really helps. We're removing those unnecessary risks from your business. So the next feature of the Field Service Accelerator we want to cover today is what's known as customer or site instructions. Now, field service has the concept of incident types, and they are your sort of templated work orders, things that you do time and again, and they're often linked to a specific job. Where our capability comes in is we now give you the facility to link that to an account. So here, the example we've got, we have a quarry. We've created this new section here, which allows you to add incident types. If we go on to an incident type, I have one open here. As I said, these are our templates, but on this one, we're saying that whenever we create a work order at this site, at the Preact quarry, I want to apply these things to the work order. So we may always charge for PPE. We're visiting site and we need to restock every time we go there. And we may have a sort of a flat charge for travel. We could add services on there as well if we have specific labor, and also service tasks. So here we have to check we have our PPE, we need to do a risk assessment before we enter site. And actually, while we're on this grid, this is one of the other features of the Field Service Accelerator, the ability to drag and drop to reorder these subgrid tasks, if you will. So now we've set up our incident type, our template. We will go to a work order that I'm partway through creating for this service account. And upon us clicking save, that will, in a few seconds, once the automation is ran, have created a work order incident for us. And here it is, quarry. So now when we come and look at the product grid, we can see that those charges are already applied to the work order. Same with those service tasks, they are also already on the work order. And what this means is when the engineer arrives at site, obviously he'll be looking at this through his field service mobile app, but this information is already there. There's a lot of other examples in other industries, where you may want to use this. So when you have the Field Service Accelerator installed and you're adequately licensed, you'll notice upon the Field Service Setting area that you have an additional tab here called the Preact FSA Settings. Now this area is default field service settings. This is where, as a field service administrator, you're likely to come in and amend settings. So we've included our settings in this area for consistency. And it's within here where you can turn on or off features that we've included. And where those features collide or conflict with existing capabilities in field service, we prevent you from having both settings turned on by showing these error messages, which will prevent you from turning them on. So the next feature we're going to discuss is creating a sales order from a work order. Now by default, field service will create an invoice from a work order, but what we found often is when customers are trying to integrate with an ERP or finance system, there are already existing integrations between a sales order in Dynamics and a sales order in another finance system. So what we've tried to do here is give the ability to create a sales order off the back of a closed work order. So to configure that, you would come into the Preact FSA settings, which we've seen earlier, and turn this feature on. Then on the work order, which we have one open here, similar to default field service functionality, once this status is changed to closed posted, either manually, as I'll show in a second, or through your normal engineers, going through the life cycle of a work order, that will then generate the sales order. So I'm just going to say here that we've got a couple of products already on here. So we've got a boiler and we've got our 2 hours of labor. So I'm going to go back onto the summary tab and just change this to closed posted. Click save. And you'll see that we've also added in an additional field onto the work order form itself called output sales order. And once the automation has run in the background and generated our sales order, this field should then be populated. So I'm just going to refresh the form. And we can see here that that's already happened. And now I'm now able to go to that sales order. And then if we look at the order lines, we can see it's pulled through our labor and the products. So a nice quick win in our Field Service Accelerator is the ability to specify a default price list and a default tax code. Now the idea is here, you set these once, and then when you're creating your new customer records, like so, the automation that we have in the background will go and retrieve those record settings that we've specified, and then upon creation of this customer, we just click refresh and go to the servicing tab, we will see now that the default price list has been applied and the default tax code. Again, just trying to cut down on some of those manual steps to creating customers. Many thanks for watching our Field Service Accelerator overview. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and you can see the benefits the features will bring to your organization. If you're interested in discussing the Accelerator or field service in general, please don't hesitate to get in touch with Preact. We'd certainly be happy to help. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe to Preact to see more of our videos about Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform in the future.